Hi, this is Marco, and in this video I'm going to talk about why overthinking is good and how you can use it to your advantage. Yes, you can actually use overthinking, the habit of overthinking, to your advantage. And at the end of the video, I'm going to share a couple of tools, a couple of exercises that you can use to accomplish just that. So stay tuned. First of all, let me ask you this. Do you overthink? So what is overthinking anyway? By definition, it means something along these lines. To think too much or to think for too long about something. That's it. So, although people know that, people are aware of that definition, they don't seem to get control over it. They don't seem to get it under control, really. So they keep on dealing with overthinking day in, day out, perhaps even at night, that actually deprives them from a good night's rest. And it is hard to imagine that something like overthinking can be used for something positive and supporting, right? So it is actually absolutely messing with even the easiest and simplest tasks that are at hand and making everything even harder than it should be. That's kind of the overthinking that we deal with. We get really hooked in and sucked in, basically, when we do overthink. It's like a vicious circle. So sometimes it's a real nightmare. And on top of that, when people realize that, and I was one of these people, instead of dealing with overthinking, they start to deal with the tasks at hand. And they deal in a very inefficient way. They start to procrastinate. So they start to procrastinate on things that are really simple, straightforward, they know how to do, but they just can't do it. They lose that confidence because of their overthinking. So imagine what that does to a person, how destructive this can be for a person's effectiveness and efficiency. That's really scary. So instead of fighting the habit of overthinking, let's embrace it. And we can actually do that because fact is that overthinking is a habit. So it is a habitual way of thinking. It's a thought process, which is a habit. So that thought process is a mental process that gets triggered automatically by circumstances, situations, even tasks, whatever might trigger that when we go throughout the day or when we go to bed and go to sleep, because thoughts are rushing through our mind all the time. But when they do, we are not aware of it. It happens with or without our knowledge, without even knowing that it's happening, because it is an automatic process. Habits are automatic. The definition of habits is, or I will just explain what that is. The habit is something that we do automatically without putting a mental effort to do it. Like, I don't give myself a command to do something. I just do it automatically without thinking. Let's say brushing my teeth. I can do that without thinking, oh, I have to move my hand up and down, left and right, and so on and so forth. I just do it and think about 1,001 different things. So this is kind of the idea. It's automatic without conscious effort. So that's the conditioning, that's the programming we have. And overthinking is such a habit. It's a mental program. And instead of changing the whole habit of overthinking, we can actually use that habit as it is. But instead of fighting it or exchanging it, we can shift our focus to specific topics and tasks instead. Now, why is it better to shift the focus and use the habit as it is? How do you profit from doing this? What does it do for you? Why is it better for you to do this? Because it's based on how our mind works. People usually want to be happier or happy, energized, motivated, focused, efficient, effective, confident, feeling good in all aspects of their business and life, right? People usually want to feel good, to have more, to do more, to give more, whatever a person wants. That's kind of the whole idea, the global point of view, or a bigger perspective on that. So they are looking for answers, how to get all of that. Regardless of the answers, they often get the answers, but that doesn't help because they haven't understood one key thing, that is the process, how our mind works. It is crucial to understand that. We don't need to fully comprehend it, but it's good to understand the process, because then we can use the process in various forms and applications. Because the truth is that when we think about what we like, what we admire, what we aim towards, what we enjoy doing, we enjoy spending our time with, or what we want, what our goals, dreams, and desires are, we automatically start feeling good, or start feeling better than we felt before we started thinking about all those things. Think about your loved ones, your partner, your children, what you do, your business, whatever that is. Think about the things that you care. Automatically, you start feeling good. And you see yourself doing this or spending time with these people, and you start feeling better. At least the feeling gets better than when we have to deal with stuff we don't like. It makes us feel good, but we start to feel better than when we deal with stuff that we don't like. It's really interesting, because when we deal with stuff we don't like, and stuff that we don't like might be different for you as it is for me or for a third person. Stuff that we don't like might be doing the taxes, for example, or having a house cleaning, weekend, or having to clean the bathroom or whatever, taking the garbage out or anything, or having a very difficult conversation with your employee or with your boss or with your partner, which is unpleasant, or you have to be open and honest and direct in order to settle things or resolve some challenges you might be facing. These are all situations that we actually don't want, right? We have to do them, but it's if we could choose, we would not choose them. We don't want them, right? So whatever is under this umbrella of that we don't want, this is triggering some negative feelings within us. And usually when people are overthinking, they do this about things they don't like, they are afraid of, or worried about, or general things that don't help them feel better in everyday situations or in business. Perhaps it is a task in your business that you have to do that is unpleasant, or you feel unpleasant doing it. So the trigger is oftentimes a negative feeling, right? A negative feeling about either the situation itself, or being afraid of not being able to accomplish it the way you want it, like not having the full confidence that you can do it easy like this. So you start to overthink. People start to overthink when they are not sure they can deliver it the way it's expected, but they don't even know what is expected. So it's like a vicious circle. It's really like a dog hunting for his own tail. It's really something unpleasant, and that feeling builds up with time. So the problem lies more in what people think about than about thinking too much about something. Yeah, it is thinking too much about something, but what is that something? And when we take the habit of overthinking, which is thinking too much or for too long about something, let's put in very specifically what that something is. That's the idea here. But I have to say something, that the way we think about the specific topics that we care about also matters very much, because we should be focusing on the positive aspect of that, the part that makes us feel good, energized, enthusiastic, really strong, instead of worried, scared, frustrated, angry, whatever, right? Whatever negative feeling. Let me put in here an example. Let's say a person wants to earn 10,000, whatever currency, US dollars, euros, whatever that is. Let's pick US dollars. 10,000 US dollars per month, every month. So they might think about it in a positive way or in a negative way. And it is really important to think about it in a positive way, so that it makes the person feel good, instead of feeling frustrated because the person hasn't done what had to be done, or didn't choose the right thing, or has made the wrong decision, whatever. Or something happened that the person couldn't accomplish or finish, whatever was required. We don't want to go there in the negative part, the frustration, guilt, scarcity, anxiety, and worse, right? That's not the idea here. We want to be focused on the positive. 10,000 US dollars a month. How does that look like? What would change in that person's life? How could that person help his loved ones more, better? Where would they go on holidays? What would they be doing on weekends? What could they afford that they couldn't before? Whatever. These are thoughts that really matter. So we have to focus on the positive, whatever we set, right? So this is what we have to be aware of. And the exercises that I will share with you will not allow you to go down the negative path. And you will see why when we get there. So we can actually use the habit of overthinking in a constructive way that will be supporting instead of holding us back. Now, in order to make that shift and in order to make overthinking a positive experience, we have to define some things first. We have to define the positive aspects that we want to use in the process when we think about stuff or about something, right? So what do we need to do to prepare? We have to think about our goals. We have to think about our passions. We have to think about what we want to achieve. What do I truly want in business, in life, in my relationships, in my health situation, diet, whatever. We have to think about that. We have to define these things. And when we define the goals and our wants in the different areas of our lives, let's put it personal, professional, and defining the areas, this is the most important part. So you choose the areas that you'd like to improve the most, where you might be overthinking also for the majority of time. So this could be whatever, as I mentioned, business, health, finance, relationship, family, children, partner, anything that matters to you. Now, when you create this list, make sure that when you think about it, it triggers the good feelings. It should make you feel good. Like if you want to have a great relationship, then think about that great relationship, how it looks like, not about the relationship that might be currently like out of sync. Let's put it like this, that might not be going the way you want it. But instead of thinking about that, try to think about how you want it and really be there. That you trigger consciously and specifically through these thoughts, the positive feelings. You should feel good about that, about thinking, okay? This is very important. Now, this is not yet the exercise. If you thought that this was the exercise, no, that's just the prep work here. So there's still more to come. So stay tuned, stay with me, because when you are done writing with that, we keep on going and we are going to add a couple of things and they come right now. So you start using what you wrote as an input into the process. Now, overthinking is nothing else than thinking a lot about something specific. So we defined what specific that is, what that something is. These are your areas that you care most about. Now we are using the process how to inject that into the habit of overthinking. So to shift our focus. How do you shift your focus? How do you do this? How do you actually do it? Because we have to consciously put the effort in shifting it. And just as a caution, don't expect to be able to do this from the get-go. It might take some time because the habit of overthinking might be so strong that it will take some time. It might take a couple of weeks or even months to see a shift, let's say a tangible shift for you that you really feel the difference. It might be just a little tiny step every time, but over time this will shift, and we have to stick to it on a daily basis as much as possible. At the beginning, even if we miss a day or two, no worries, it's all good, but you have to stick to it in order to see the difference. That's the core message. Now, here are the exercises that you can implement as a part of your automatic thought process. And you do this consciously. It will become automatic over time. Habits are created over time by repetition. We have to repeat them a lot. So, step number 1. There are a couple of steps. Some are mixed, and you will see. I will go through them. Step number 1. Think about what you want every day. You think about what you want every day. You can wake up and first thing in the morning, think about, be in your goal. Let's say I mentioned $10,000 a month every month. When you wake up, think about how you are living your life when you are already earning the $10,000 every month. You think about that. You're not even thinking about, but in your mind, in your thoughts, you project yourself into that reality in your mind. It's like a virtual reality, right? Because you are thinking about it, and you project yourself into the life of earning 10,000 and doing stuff. And you see yourself doing things, experiencing things with your family, with your friends, whatever, right? So you can do this in the morning when you wake up, during the day, and the best time is at night before you fall asleep to do this, because this is recalibrating, refocusing your thoughts on something that you want. And your overthinking process, the habit, will take over the positive pictures, the positive feelings, instead of the crap that you've might heard of or seen during the day, right? That would keep you awake. So that's step number 1. Step number 2, catch yourself when you are overthinking. How do you catch yourself? When you don't feel good. When you don't feel good, there is a high probability that your thoughts are hooked to something that you do not like, do not want, do not care, and that actually make you feel bad. So catch yourself. And then when you catch yourself, shift your thinking towards what you defined in the areas before. I said, define the areas and the goals, your passions. Focus on that. Focus on your wants, on your goals, on your passion, whatever you've defined that makes you feel good. And these things are all things that you really want. And when you catch yourself, you just focus. And you do this. And yes, if you catch yourself 10 times a day, then do this 10 times. If you catch yourself 500 times a day, then you do this 500 times. Catch yourself and shift. That's number 2. Number 3 is catch yourself, as before, and think of 20 things you're grateful for in your life. Yes, 20 things. Easy, right? So when you catch yourself overthinking and you want to shift, you want to feel better, think about the things you really care about. Are you grateful for your family? Are you grateful for your partner? Perhaps are you grateful for your children if you have children? Are you grateful for your job or your business? Are you grateful for your health, for your eyesight, for your hearing skills? Perhaps you are grateful for being able to do some workout. What are you grateful for? And find 20 things and feel the gratitude. Like really feel being grateful for that. This will shift the focus from the crappy thinking to the positive part. So what we are doing with these exercises is using that habit of thinking too much too long about one thing. We just exchange the thing we think about. That's the idea. Just keep this in mind. This is what we are doing. And we allow our thoughts to think about something, but we give it something else to think about. Okay? So that's number 3. Number 2? That's number 3, yes. So number 3 is catch yourself and think of 20 things you are grateful about, right? Grateful for. So the 4th thing is catch yourself as before and shout. Shout in your mind, shout in your head. Stop it. And then choose one of the first 3 steps, exercises. Just shout, stop it. Like when somebody is doing a mess and you want to stop him, you shout at him, stop it, and the person will freeze, right? The same applies to your thoughts. When you say and tell yourself, shout in your mind, stop it. You can try it aloud when you're at home. Make sure that nobody's watching you. Shout, stop it. And you will see how your mind will stop. And then consciously focus on one of the exercises, gratitude or your goal, your passion, what you want, perhaps on your family, whatever, right? So that's a really effective one. I like that pretty much. And the 5th, the final step is catch yourself overthinking, as I explained it before, and elevate your frequency of voice. I cannot go that high, but you elevate your voice frequency. You start to talk like this, and then you question the voice. You go and make fun of the thoughts that you are having. When your thoughts go haywire about how do I do that? What do you want to do? How do you want to do that? It is something that makes you laugh. And that's the whole point. You want to start feeling better. And by going high with your voice, that's so unusual. You have to really try hard. I cannot go that high. It's embarrassing. However, you know what I mean. So you just try to go higher with the frequency of your voice and repeat the thoughts that you get that have been making you feel bad. And you will see, you will start laughing. You will start feeling a little bit better, and then choose something that you care about and think about that, about your goals, passion, what you want to achieve, and really feel good about it. And this will really help you detach from that vicious circle that's holding you very tight. And it helps. For me, these steps, I use them every single time when I catch myself overthinking, because they pull me right out of that and I feel better. But I have to make a conscious effort to be focusing on something that I really like. You can use even music or anything that drives you that drives the good energy within you. So if you stick to it and practice it daily, with time, the overthinking process will shift into the positive part. And instead of feeling bad, you will start feeling good. And you will do this quicker and quicker and quicker. And at one time, you will stop overthinking. You will see things and tasks and anything that you are challenged with from the positive side, positive perspective, and you will stop overthinking altogether. It will make you more energized, motivated, and even more efficient and happy. What do you want more, right? So you will cover all aspects of your life, but it takes a little bit of effort every day, doesn't take much. You can do this once every day, get into the habit of doing it, and I guarantee it will shift a lot. So try it for 30 days, and you can hold yourself accountable. You can print out a calendar with 30 days, and you make a cross on each day. If you miss a day, you start over next 30 days. Your goal is to go 30 days without missing a day. And you repeat that until you get the full 30 days and see what happens. And let me know how it goes. You can support me actually by, and other people too, by liking and sharing if you found